Hey everybody, it's Lori from Teach Through Love. Thank you so much for joining us. Today I'm talking with Carrie Reed. She's one of my certified parent educators. Carrie is a 2017 graduate of the parent education program. Carrie, thank you so much for jumping on the camera today with me. I know it's super early where you're, although it's a little bit later. You've been on for a while.
It's getting later. It's getting later. Oh, kitty.
Probably going to interrupt us a lot.
That is that a new kitty?
Yeah, August, the end of August, we got him and his sister. He's like a little love bug. Like, he would probably just let me hold him here the entire time.
That's so sweet. My cat's kind of grumpy.
So we got them. They were just baby kittens, and their foster mom must have been just, I mean, she was lovely, but she must have been amazing because they are just like the most lovely, you know, or I just got lucky. I don't know, but they're lovely and they're just sweet as can be. So
that's the best.
We've been talking over the last several months. You graduated the program in 2016?
Yes,
I didn't do
17. Right at the end of 17, right? January, I think, 2017.
Can you just share a little bit about your experience with me, how this parent education piece got started, what brought you to this? How did you find me? Because you took a class with me before.
I took a class, and then I was also working with, for my daughter's special needs, the class was so important to me and made me feel, made our relationship so better. Then I decided to do the parent education class.
So which class did you take?
I think, it was so long ago, I don't know. And I utilized a lot of the YouTube videos. Yeah,
so that's how you found me. And then what made you then take that leap? Like, how did you figure out, I want to take this, what I've learned, and really go out and help other people? Like, did that just come up? Did you think that was going to come up? Because you weren't working in teaching.
No, I wasn't even in that field. I mean, it was really a personal experience. And then I just felt so passionate that it changed our life so dramatically that I wanted to help other people change the way they parent and also heal possibly themselves, because that's what happened to me through it. Is I healed myself so that I could be a better parent to Ava, to my daughter.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And now you've kind of had an evolution of how you figured out like what you wanted to do with the program. Like, what did you come in thinking you were going to do? Did you know? Did you have like that plan formulated out?
I had a plan formulated out, but has evolved to something different and is still evolving, which is amazing. And I know I'm just really passionate about getting the word out about Teach Through Love and the parenting skills that are really important in our society. I had an idea of having a preschool with using Teach Through Love philosophy with the kids, which I did, but then I realized that really the parents were, if they're not on the same page, that it's not really affecting the whole family. So I still like that idea, but now I want to do more one-on-one with parents and their children and helping them in some capacity.
So can you just share, because there's a lot of people that have written in and they're trying to figure out, what is this program going to give me that I don't necessarily have already? Or what am I going to get out of it that I can really take into the world? And obviously I share with them the things that you get, curriculum, slides, all of this, but what for you really made the difference? Like, what do you think some of the most valuable tools or information, or what did you get out of the class?
The biggest thing about the class maybe was having the mentorship of you, helping work through some of the concepts. I guess I would say, some of the concepts, having you being there as the mentor and the teacher, being able to be really honest about where you're at in your own healing, because I think even though maybe you're coming from that field, so I didn't come from that field, so I feel like I'm really like newer to this, but if you're coming from the field, to really even be able to look at your own self and just having you be there to pull out that part and then be able to use it towards healing other people. And so I think that's one. So having you there, the content is amazing. Um, Having all the work, I mean, the content is really amazing compared to some of the other content out there. I feel like it's very easy to read, to understand, to go through.
All of the workbook material that I give you to use, we go through. We do it for ourselves.
Yeah, right. Which that makes a big difference because then you're actually, yeah, you're not just going to deliver it to some another client without doing it yourself. So then you're very authentic. You have your personal experiences to me to bring into your teaching to other people, which if I was on the other end of that, I would appreciate because it's authentic then. And we're all in a position where this kind of information, I think, is it's new. It's not, I don't feel like people were raised in this way. So they're just learning. I mean, your experience is going to make a difference to your clients if you can bring that in, I feel like, anyway.
You're so absolutely right. And you mentioned being authentic, and when you share your experience and your own evolution, and even if you're not a parent, I've had teachers that want to use the work, and that are just teachers or educators, or even that do professional development, but they don't have children. Even the workbook material is so much about our personal development. So some of it, yes, it's about, activities that we might do considering our children in the relationship, but a lot of it is just about finding out about more about ourselves. So you don't have to necessarily even have kids to get the healing benefit, that authentic piece, looking back and thinking, why do I get triggered in any situation? Not just if I, have kids, but in any situation. Being able to pinpoint how you were raised and how that's connected. And then when we have those reasons, we're able to then make those shifts. For me, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Once I realize that, why I'm getting angry or whatever it is in this moment, what it's connected to for me and not about the other person, that's when I'm really able to make those changes, I feel like.
That's a really good point, of course, because you can use this in any relationship. I mean, and then when you're clear on what's triggering you and your responses, you can make a shift to something better and different with all relationships. And I have found that personally, in my life with communicating with adults and other friendships and other people. It's really amazing. And people notice it, the change within me, the way that I am a lot more calm when there's a big traumatic experience. How if my friend is having a traumatic experience, maybe something I say to her, they're very appreciative because they don't look at it like that. It's just a different way of thinking and responding. And once you know why you're triggered that way, it's amazing how your relationships can connect deeper with everyone.
I love that. That's so true. And I have made just the connections that I have made with you guys one-on-one, and what I've learned about my own work and how to make it better and how to help others, you guys, other parents. For me, I love that we continue the network and the connections, and it's helped me understand. I feel like I remember I would get not frustrated at parents, but in my head, it would be like, I would get frustrated. And then as soon as I looked a little deeper, it was like, okay, I can work through this. I'm not so frustrated. I can come at this with a compassionate view now. But it's really because I've been able to continue my connection with all of my parent educators and all of my professional friends that I even have online, just in the whole network of advocates and educators that we have going on now. That's kind of one of the most amazing things that I've been seeing grow out of this whole conscious parenting movement, not just with my class, but with you guys. I feel like that's such a huge, such a huge benefit for me to have those connections and to be able to learn about how I can just speak with more empathy to other people in my life, not just, and you're right, people do notice it. And then they really depend on you, and you become just a trusted, valuable support person, not even someone that, we don't have to have all the answers.
Right.
Here's the thing. What do you think about it? So I have a lot of people that want to do the work, but they don't feel confident enough. And I know that that's something that even I struggle with. Like, do I have the answers? And it's not. What do you think about that? What do you think about the whole have you struggled with that, feeling confident enough? And how do you
Definitely.
I know you broke through it. You've broken through it. So how does that?
Like, I know this is what I'm supposed to be doing, but so I'm trying really hard to listen and pick the right thing. I mean, meaning I'm not going back to mortgage, even though I could. I'm not. And I could just go get a job, but I'm not. I'm doing this. So I'm like firm. And then I just met with this really fantastic executive coach by accident. Probably not by accident, but, and he, not to coach with him, but what happened was my really good close friend coaches with him. I've told my friend Patrick where I'm at and what I'm doing. And he says to me, well, I just had something really weird happen and I want to connect you to someone. He said, I was talking to my coach and he's new to him. And he says, the coach said, what makes you really happy? And so my friend Patrick said, what makes me really happy is when this girl, Carrie, my good friend, comes in and she's like, I want to do this and I want to do this and I want to help people. And how am I doing this? And he said that to the coach. So I wasn't there. He wasn't trying to connect us or anything. And the coach says, well, that's interesting because I have a foster care nonprofit.
I have chills everywhere.
It gets even better. So he goes, I want to meet her. And I said, and so Patrick told me, and I met with him. And it was the weirdest meeting because we have no agenda. Like, I don't know why I'm sitting there with him.
It's right though, because my whole body is on I have chills full body chills everywhere.
See, this is what I'm talking about. I know something good is coming. It's coming.
This is when this is like when you were sitting in that DHS office going, I have good content for you. I have information. I have love and all this to share. But
it's just,
right down.
Right.
This is Okay, sorry.
Okay, so anyway, so we're sitting there and I'm telling him about Teach Through Love and why I love it so much and about my daughter, about the kids and all this. And then I said, there's also another reason, and so I haven't shared this with you, but there's 3 people individually, friends of mine and acquaintances that I know that their elder children that college age have tried to commit suicide in the last 12 months.
Oh, wow.
I know. And I am thinking about this and I'm thinking about how disconnected we're becoming with our children. And I just feel extremely called there. So I shared that with him. After the meeting, I emailed him and I said, I feel strongly we're going to do something really exciting together. I don't know what it is, but that's it. I don't know anything else where it's going.
Just let it evolve. Just do meditate on it, walk and get in nature and let things come to you when your mind's not busy. And I think it will unfold.
I know, and I think
the way it's supposed to. It's because it just sounds like such a sort of just a kismet kind of meeting connection.
Because I'm sort of impatient and I'm really trying to work on that because I know I'm heading in the progress is great. I mean, really, it's more that I just am I'm just not patient.
I was going to say, because every time you tell me new things, I'm like, wow, that's amazing. You've made such great strides in these or inroads and realizing what you want to do and talking to people, making connections, but it probably doesn't feel like.
You have to get started. So you have the content but it's a practice. So, doing it in front of someone is different. And that's where I'm going to evolve and keep growing. The easy part about it is it's true. So if I was selling, so with mortgages, people needed houses. That made it, I don't really like the idea of selling something they don't need. People. I mean, in general, it's not me. But in mortgage, they wanted the house, so that was easy. And then I could add in stuff by I just wanted to give them something good for their family. So Kaylee and I always like found something to give other than mortgage. It had nothing to do with it. So that's how I made that work for me. But this is easy because families need this. I see people all the time. I'm just like, they're hurting and they're not connecting. And they might not be aware, but I'm watching it. I'm watching it, and I see then the end is these college students like that I was talking about. So they've done everything their parents are putting on them. The parents feel like they're connecting. They're not really connecting, and this child is losing all of its essence, all of its real self by doing all these things we're putting on. And then they get to college and they finish and they're like, they have anxiety and stress and depression. And that, it just needs to stop. People need to be aware. Like they just, yeah, they need to be aware because it's not what they intended or wanted.
No. And it's like if they just could see it, if someone could just come and put their arm around them and say, just look this way.
Look this way and see.
See.
Yeah, that's what that's what I want to do, 100%. So again, I love our meetings. I think the part about being authentic with people, so you need, obviously your leadership grows and your confidence will grow. And the more that you learn and the more that you experience using the concepts and growing yourself is the way that you can give. I think that is the most authentic way to give people. And people are more receptive to a real person, maybe over having all the technical answers. But if you're sharing your stories, they can break down their barriers and they feel more comfortable just being who they are, which is really the most important thing. Because you can pretend to be someone else, but really when you can just be you and say, oh my gosh, I'm struggling with this, then you're able to really relate to other people and help them through that. So
I want to thank you so much for coming on and sharing your experience with me and everybody that's watching. If people join, they're going to get to experience more of you because I like to have those meetings, bring us all back together and connect and figure out how we can support each other, what's going on, who needs what. So thank you.
Well, thank you. Yeah, thank you for doing this work. It's just amazing.
Awesome.
Okay, well, have a good day.
Yes, have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk soon.
Okay, sounds good. See you later.
Bye.